Hi everyone. This is chapter two. I'm in the translucent space between spaces. Um, I figure we'll just wait until we get we'll wait until we get like another five people or so, and then when everyone starts to get onto this link, then we will move forward. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna mute myself again, and I'm just gonna see until the count goes up. Thanks everyone. Also, if you have any questions in the comments, where's the comments? There. Yeah, there we go. Just just put them there. We'll be happy to answer them. Yeah, hopefully this one will move a little bit brisker. Yeah, when we kind of got through the meat of it, now we're just going into the details. But yeah, thanks for being here. It's just really nice to share my Sunday with you guys. Thanks, guys. Oh, I see you, Bhavin. I see you there. That's my little brother. I see him in the comments. Thanks for supporting me. Uh, I don't know if have you registered yet? Have you registered yet? Um, okay. So yeah, we've got 7 viewers. Let's get started, and we'll see how it goes. All right. And okay. So chapter two, the weekend. What are the rules? Um, so let's go straight into it. Yeah. Here's our team minus Sia because I'm a bad friend and I forgot to put Sia's name. I'm gonna have to live through that for another 2 chapters also. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, KZN Film Commission. You made this all possible. You're the best. And then to Creative Arts College, Huawei South Africa, the Film and Publications Board, Media Film Services, and the Durban Film Office. You guys are great. And without all of you guys holding us up, we would not be here today, so that we can do the festival next week, Friday. All right. So prep work. Let's get straight into it. Prep work. What are the rules? Okay. You can't begin making your film before kickoff. Okay, but you can begin the prep work to make things more streamlined. Okay, so I recommend that you start organizing your cast and crew. You get an idea of their skills and abilities, especially if you've never made a film before. Obviously, if you have, then you know, like, okay, this person's going to do costume, this person's going to do makeup, this person's going to be the cinematographer or whatever. If this is your first time, I highly recommend that you start figuring out who's going to do what and delegate, who's got skills as an actor, who's got skills as whatever. Don't be afraid to double up on things, because also teamwork makes the dream work, but 48 hours is a challenge like no other. So I highly recommend that you be smart about how you use people, because every little bit of effort helps. Um, Secure all your equipment that you might need before the festival. So that's cameras, lights, editing equipment, your data, your vehicles, costumes, makeup, props, anything you think you might need. Obviously, you might end up needing additional things when you start writing the script, and on the Friday night or the Saturday morning, you're like, oh, we also need a cape or sunglasses. But the idea of it is to be as prepared as you can because you know you're going to be making a film and you know what your constraints are. So it would be really unfortunate if you've put all this time and effort into prepping for for this competition, and then you're like, oh, we didn't organize lights, we have to make calls on a Friday night so that we can use them on Saturday morning. It's just, you want to be prepared, you want to be on top of things. Scouts and secure locations beforehand also. um, it's good to have an idea of what you're working with before you start the festival. So okay, we know where we can get a park. My friend's dad has a coffee shop. We can use it if we ask him nicely. Get all of these things, get all your ducks in a row basically, so that if necessary, you can choose from that. Because remember, again, the requirements are not super rigid. They're quite flexible. So, you can work with what you have, and it's always interesting. It's really exciting, and it's better to see what you can come up with the resources that you have. So make sure you have all of that, in your back pocket before you even start the festival. Also, confirm essentials. So that's transport, food, bathrooms, changing facilities. Okay, logistically, 48 hour is no different from any other film set. You need to know where all of these things are coming from. If you know that you're going to have to move, there's like 12 people in your crew or 8 people in your crew, where are they going to fit? How are they going to get to the location to film? How are they going to go home? Where are they going to, who's going to feed them? Because remember, it's 48 hours. You're going to have to stop. You're going to have lunch breaks and things. This is highly important. You need to know where this is coming from beforehand, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're filming and you're trying to get the film done. And then you're like, oh my gosh, we don't have any food. We don't know where we're going to get food. Oh my gosh, we're in a place and there's no bathrooms. You need to think about these things. And you need to know the limitations of any place that you're going to, and you need to have everybody in the crew aware of this also. Also, changing facilities is just really important because, changing costumes, all of that. Logistically, you need to have all of this worked out, because it's very important to have it smooth, because when you are in the competition, you don't have time to start figuring things out. You need to be using the tools at your disposal already. Next. Okay, so kickoff night, as we've spoken about before, it's Friday the 26th, starts at 6 p.m. So from about 6 to 7 p.m., we're going to be doing a little bit of a recap of things that we've seen here. And then after that, we're going to start drawing names out of the hat, drawing genres out of the hat to give to each of the teams, which are going to be listed alphabetically. So again, after that, every team's going to get the 3 required elements, which is the character, the prop, and the line of dialogue. Once you have all of those things, you set off into the night, and you have 48 hours to make your film. And that film has to be 4 to 7 minutes long, plus 1 minute of credits. And at the end of it, you will have a film, and it needs to adhere to all of these requirements. So representatives and attendants at the kickoff, okay? Each team must have at least 1 representative at the kickoff event, okay? It does not have to be the team leader, but one of your team members has to represent the team, okay? And we're gonna take register. We're gonna do roll call. It's literally gonna be like, Alex, are you here? Present. Travell, are you here? Present. And then we're gonna tick it off on the list to make sure that our teams are here. Okay, it's very important for that, because you're going to have to, the representatives from those teams that are watching, they're going to be the ones who are going to take down the required elements and the genres for their team, and they're going to communicate with the rest of the team about what's happening, okay? It's very, very important. If you're not there, then we're not going to give you your genre. We're not going to give you your genre. You're going to be marked absent, and you don't want that. You don't be marked absent, So please be there. Alsjeblieft, please. In addition to this, I think it's also just very important to note that just be aware of what we're going to give the link to you for it. We're going to do it on YouTube again. So it'll be a very similar setup to this, but it'll just be one long video because it's just one kickoff video. And yeah, and we'll take the register when you tell us that you're here. It's going to be in the comment section. Also, again, if at any stage any of you guys watching have any questions or concerns or anything like that, please let me know in the comments, and we can have a dialogue here. That's what this is for. This is why it's the workshop. If you feel like there's something you can't survive, then let us know, because that's why we're here. We're here to teach you how to survive the 48-hour film project. Next. Okay, so yeah, getting the genres. As we've spoken about before, each team gets 2 genres. We draw them out of a hat for you, or something similar. They're going to be drawn at random. We're going to try and jazz it up this year with something different than just drawing it out of a hat. But if we're going to get a hat, it's going to be a hat like Humphrey Bogart's hat. Yeah, it'll be a very nice hat. So yeah, again, you'll get your 2 genres. You get to choose which of those 2 genres you want to use in your film. You can do both if you want to. It's not 100% necessary, but you have to stick to at least one of those genres. That's one way to ensure that you didn't make your film beforehand. There were some films last year that just did not follow this clearly, and it was a real tragedy because the films were like pretty good, but unfortunately they didn't have any trace of the genre or required elements or anything. And so we weren't 100% sure if the film was actually made during the festival. So please don't make it a riddle for us to solve and make it a mystery where we have to check the weather to see if you cheated or not. We don't want to be those guys. We want to trust you. So please stick to your genre, stick to your required elements, and make your films in the 48 hours as the competition stipulates. Cool, genre list. As you can see there, we've already gone over it, but action comedy, superhero film, thrillers, sci-fis, political movies, musicals, soap operas, westerns, the whole shebang. There's so much to choose from, so much to do, so much to see. I think that there's something for everybody in there, and even if you don't think it's your cup of tea, it might become your cup of tea. All right, so you may notice that there are some specialty genres there that the 48-hour film project has actually made up or has drawn from new and emerging genres, or from genres that you may not be too familiar with. So I'm going to go through 3 of the ones that people most ask questions about here. We've got film de femme, politics film, and silent film. So film de femme means a film about a female, a film about a woman. I think it's I believe it's French. It's a French term. So a film de femme is a film starring a strong female character or characters. So think about something like Erin Brockovich, Hunger Games, Kill Bill, Molly's Game, Juno. There she is there. So anything of that regard. Hey, the new Ghostbusters Afterlife, also strong female characters. Politics film. Okay, so this is a film that covers any aspect of politics. It does not actually have to be about the government. It can be on a local level or a national level or an international, whatever your heart desires. But it's a film that covers an aspect of politics. So examples that we've got are like The Post, which is about like the Nixon scandal in the U.S. or the White House. Election, which is about the politics of a local high school. Voting for class president. Ides of March, another political scandal on Brexit, which is about England. Citizen Kane, where he runs for president. Politics film is such a broad one. You may think, oh no, I don't know anything about politics. You know more than you think, and politics film is a lot broader than it appears to be. Silent film. Okay, this is a real special one. So a silent film is no dialogue or natural sound, no sound recorded while shooting, basically. Okay. Sound effects and music are allowed, but they have to be added in post-production. So if you go, that sound cannot be recorded from the microphone. You got to add that afterwards. That's what that is. So basically, like examples of silent films are like anything from Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, the artist. But one thing that I want to specify here is it does not have to be a comedy, and it does not have to be in black and white. I'm going to stress this. Does not have to be a comedy. Does not have to be in black and white, okay? It just has to be a film with no dialogue or no natural sound, okay? That's it. It can be, in that silent film bracket, it could be any number of things. So feel free, go wild. Okay, three required elements. Okay, so now we're gonna get into a little bit of specifics here. With your three required elements are your required character, your required prop, and your required line. Okay, so your required character does not have to be the star of the movie. They have to be in the movie though. They must be seen on screen, and it must be clear to the audience that that character that they're looking at is the required character. Okay, so last year we had our required character was a person either named Menzi or Mandy Khadebe, and they had to be a lawyer. So somewhere in the film, you have to clearly state that this character is a lawyer of some sort. So at one point in one of the films, For Old Time's Sake, which was made by my friend Trent, the character's name was Mandy, and she's like packing her bags, and you see that she's got a whole bunch of law books. So that's when you know that she's a lawyer. You can deduce that from the way from the fact that she possesses all of these books. So he didn't have to explicitly say it, but her name is Mandy, and she's got all the legal books. Other times it can be very blatant, like, here's my friend, his name is Menzi, he's a lawyer. But obviously you get more points for being creative about it and being clever about it. Required prop. Okay, it must be seen on screen, and it must be used in the film in some way. The prop will be given to you on kickoff night, and don't worry, it's not going to be some crazy thing that you can't get a hold of. It's always something very easily acquirable, like a toothbrush or a loaf of bread, or last year it was a COVID mask. So it's not difficult at all. It's just something simple that you've got to integrate into the story. Then you've got your required line. It must be heard or seen on screen. So it can be written, it can be in a foreign language, but however it is depicted on screen, it must be clearly understood, either with subtitles or translation or anything like that. It just has to be clear that that's what the line was. Last year, the line was, let's get this over with. And it was really interesting to see the way that people used that required line. Like I say, the way that people use these required elements, it's so curious to see what's the same and what's different between all the vast ways that people approach films from various genres, and the locations and the types of people that make these films. And then you go, oh wow, so many people have used the prop in the same way, or so many people have used the prop in an unusual way, but in the same unusual way. It's just so crazy how we coalesce, and how our minds, double, like we almost like double guess each other, and we end up in the same spot. So filmmaking again. What are the rules? Okay, you have to stick to your genre and assigned elements. Okay, your genre and elements must be part of your film. Okay, if it's in the credits, okay, when I say so, it has to be part of the main film. If it's in the credits, does not count. Okay, if there's a post credits Marvel tease type thing, doesn't count. It has to be in the actual part of the film. And okay, so if your film is not in English, please be sure to add subtitles, because like I personally only speak English because I'm very limited in my capabilities in other languages. So please put subtitles so that I can understand your films and enjoy your films. Also, some of our judges, they mainly speak English, so just try to make sure, think about them. Please add subtitles to your films if your films are not in English. Okay. All creative aspects of the film must take place during the official time period. Okay, that's Friday, next Friday, to Sunday at 7:30. Okay, and that includes writing the script, rehearsing, costume and set design, shooting, editing, sound recording. All of it has to start Friday night, ends Sunday night. That's it, in those 48 hours. If you do anything before that, it's cheating. Okay, and believe me, you'd be surprised. We figure it out. Sometimes it's very obvious. So please play by the rules, guys. Everyone else is. Okay, locations and permits. Okay, the Durban Film Office has provided us with a blanket permit to film anywhere in the Durban area. So that's public areas in Durban. Durban only, unfortunately. So if you are in Richards Bay, we are so happy that you're with us, but unfortunately, the permit that's provided by the Durban Film Office does not cover you because you are in Richards Bay, not in Durban. Um, so if you are in the Durban area in public, this permit will help you out. It's a blanket permit, okay? Other districts, municipalities must secure permits with their own respective municipalities where necessary. So this is a thing that if you know, oh, I'm from Richards Bay or I'm from Port Shepstone or whatever, you know, you're gonna need a permit, try and organize that beforehand. Okay, that's not cheating. You're allowed to do that. Okay, because it's just preparation to film when the competition starts. Okay. We strongly request that you adhere to COVID safety protocols. We're still in the pandemic, okay? So no matter where you are at your shooting locations, be it your friend's house or in public somewhere, just please be smart, be responsible, adhere to COVID safety protocols. Um, all locations, public or private, must have a corresponding location release form. We're going to go through those forms, we're going to explain them, but just make sure that when you have a location, you sign a location release form, one per location, okay? It's not difficult, I promise you. It's a 2-page PDF. You just got to put your name, you got to put the address of the place, and you got to sign it. And the person who is in charge of that location, or if you have a permit or whatever, you just got to sign it to declare we know we filmed here. This is where we filmed, okay? And it's an acknowledgement that you have permission um, from anybody in charge that you are allowed to film there. Um, it's not too difficult. Thanks. Okay, footage. Okay, so that's stock footage, VFX, animation. Okay, all footage, all footage needs to be shot within the 48 hours of the film festival. Okay, in the official time period. Okay, no stock footage or footage shot before the event may be used. Okay, animation and special effects are permitted, but they must be created or at least composited during the official time period. Okay. To clarify that, okay, special effects like chroma keying, compositing, all of that stuff, okay. If you know what I'm talking about, then this will make sense to you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe just do a little bit more research because it's very technical. But the idea of it is like if you have like green screen stuff that you need to put into the frame or whatever, you can get a template that has been pre-made, but it's got to be composited into footage that you've shot during the time, okay. So if you got a green screen like plane that's gonna fly through the shots or whatever, that plane obviously you probably maybe downloading it off of YouTube. As long as you have permission to use it, you can use it. But whatever you're compositing it into needs to have been shot during the festival. It cannot be pre-made. That's what that is. I think that makes sense. If you have any more questions about that, feel free to ask. Okay. Music usage rights. Okay. So for this, you have to have the rights to the music that you put in your movies, okay? Because if you don't, if you have copyrighted music that you don't have permission to use and you put it in your movie, we can't screen your film and it will be disqualified. You don't want to be disqualified. Like I said in the previous chapter, somebody, unfortunately, they used the Avengers music in their movie. You can't, we don't have the rights to that. Kevin Feige is going to come arrest us. Alan Silvestri is not getting his royalties. He needs his royalties. Alan Silvestri, the great composer. So please, only music that you have the rights to. So if you want to get a public domain music, or if you've got a premium music license, for a website, from one of these various there's so many sources to get music and sound effects from, but you've got to have the rights or it's got to be public domain. Okay. Another option, and we encourage this, is to, working with local composers and musicians to write and record music for your movie. Like I said, Ocean's 11, Neil's team last year, they made a song for their movie. They made it in one weekend. I was like, I'm surprised that you had time to make a song on top of making the movie. Gosh, overachieving. Guys, Neil, you making us look bad by comparison because you're so good at your job. Anyway, so yeah, speak to your friends. If your friend's a musician, plays the guitar, whatever, maybe they can do the music for you. And then they've got to sign that form and they got to say, I give you permission to use my music in the film. Okay, this also extends to song parodies, okay? Song parodies, spoofs of songs, joke versions of songs, they cannot be included without a signed release form from the composer. If you want to make a spoof of a Drake song, just because it's a spoof doesn't mean you can use it. You still got to get permission from Drake, and I don't think that you're friends with Drake or Kanye West or any of anybody. Like, just you've got to get permission from the song that you're parodying if you're gonna parody it. So yeah, lots of people think, oh, I can get away with it. It's a parody of a Billie Eilish song. It's not a real, it's not the real song. No, but it's you're riffing off of it, and so you need authorization. But if you can get authorization from Billie Eilish, I would like to. Can you please pass a number on to me? I'm a big fan. I would like to. If you're friends with Billie Eilish, please let me know. Equipment regulations, okay? So also you get some brownie points if you can name the two people in the picture that's it. Um, Throw it in the comments. Okay, equipment regulations. Any type of camera can be used to shoot your film, okay? And there's no limits to the number of cameras you can use. As you know, there's a mobile phone category, so you can shoot your whole film on a mobile phone. Okay, it's that easy. So we don't want to hear any excuses. You can look at this. Oh, I can make my film on this. Wouldn't that be great? You can so anything as simple as a smartphone, all the way up to like a Alexa LF or a Red Epic or any kind of camera that you can get your hands on. So your whatever your heart desires and that your wallet can afford, feel free to have it. Um, there's no regulations against it. Okay, for cell phone films, also mobile produced films, just be aware that you are allowed to use GoPro footage. Um, and Another thing here is we encourage that mobile produced films edit on their mobile phones, but this is not a strict regulation. We know that it can be very difficult to get your hands on some affordable software to edit video on phones. I know that I've been looking for some also, and it's just hard. It's just very difficult. Everything's got watermarks, so you gotta pay like $500 for it, and it's like just wanna add some text to the video. Why is it so hard? So we understand. So yeah, if you want to use a editing software on your computer or your laptop or whatever, that's fine. It's okay. Okay, all cast and crew must work on a volunteer basis. That means they can't get paid, and this is to encourage fair competition. You can't. If you've got professional actors, if you're friends with a professional actor, then the professional actor can show up. But the idea is that we don't want it to be a pay-to-win competition. We don't want somebody to just buy out all of these professional people so that they can have the best film and everything. We want to encourage friendly competition. It is a competition where you're supposed to have fun and you're supposed to use what you have. So if you can get your hands on an Arri Alexa for free, you can get your hands on Leonardo DiCaprio for free, go for it. But you can't pay for it. Don't put yourself at an advantage financially because of that. Be fair to all the people of all the various wallet levels. I mean, gosh, I probably just use my phone to shoot things. ah you know that's life. um WhatsApp. Okay, so WhatsApp group and team assistance. Okay, throughout the competition, the 48-hour staff will be on standby to assist and give guidance on rules and regulations if required. If you're not sure about if you're using this prop fairly, or if you're having trouble with uploading or something like that, give us a call. We'll help you out. Do not worry. That's part of the job. It's the job. Okay. And yeah, you can, if you're having a real hard time with uploading to Cinema 48, you can contact us in advance and we can arrange a physical drop off and you can come to us, drop it off. Yeah, we're here to help. Obviously, you can only drop off if you're in the Durban area. It's going to be a hassle if you are not in Durban and you're going to try to drop it off with us. But yeah, generally speaking, Cinema 48, where you upload to, it should be working good. But sometimes there's a snag, so just be aware of that. Also anticipate that, because, all kinds of problems happen on film sets. So just please be aware of it. All right, so team classification. So we've got three team classifications here. We've got professional, newcomer, and cell phone filmmaker, or mobile production. Okay, so that's obviously professionals if you're a professional filmmaker. Newcomer if this is your first time doing it, and mobile film productions is obviously if you made it with your phone. the thing, this just helps us categorize the films for our judges, and also for the awards, because obviously professional filmmakers get different awards. So the newcomer, which wins the bursary, and the mobile production wins the Huawei P40. At the same time, though, if you claim to be a newcomer, and maybe you are a newcomer, but your film is just really good and you exceed all expectations, we're gonna bump you up to the professional category. So tough luck. Congratulations, your task failed successfully. You get to play with the big boys. Um, so yeah, I mean, good job for that if that's the case. And we had some of those. Some people were like, "Oh, I'm a newcomer." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Your film is fantastic." So yeah, that happens. So when we see the film, we will be the judge. Literally, we will judge if it actually suits the category that you claim it's in. Maybe you think, "Oh, I'm a professional," but if I say I'm a newcomer, I'll win the newcomer. Or no, no, we can tell. Yeah. Okay. Tech specs. Okay, I'm gonna go over this very briskly one more time. Um, but yeah, just take a screenshot. It's also on the website. We're gonna make sure that you know this. But yeah, export as MP4s, 1080, full HD. Doesn't matter if you shoot it in 4K, 8K, IMAX, film, whatever. You got to give it to us in 1080, please. That's what we're working with. Don't give Mo a headache, please. He's gotta make all of this into DCPs so that we can project it in the cinema. Please be nice to Mo. Okay, that's the regulations. You gotta get it here. 1080, 16:9. Okay, 25 frames a second. Okay, non-interlaced, pretty please, with sugar on top. And the file size, please, 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 please. File size must be maximum 2 GB. Okay, you're uploading this. It's a short form festival. Your film is gonna be maximum 8 minutes, including credits. 8 minutes does not need to be more than 2 gigs. Please, 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 please. Oh, we got a question here. Does the permit cover places like public toilets or libraries? Um, I think that, considering that those are like specific buildings or whatever, I think maybe you should probably speak to the people that are in charge of those buildings. Like I think the permit more covers like beaches, parks, that kind of things. Like yeah, places where you're filming it. So yeah, if you're planning on filming at public toilets or libraries, I think that you should probably get permission from the people who manage or are in charge of those specific locations. I think also, yeah, just for the sake of everyone else involved, because they're public spaces, so you don't want to get in the way of people who are just going about their day there. If you've worked in the film industry, you know that some people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're making a film! How exciting! Can I be in it?" And other people are like, "I'm making a film. Get off my lawn!" So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. So please be responsible when you're out in the real world making movies. Um, okay, yeah. So once again, I'm gonna stress maximum 2 GB. Please, please, please. And remember, you're uploading this to the cloud. You're uploading this to Cinema 48. So like if it's gonna be a huge file size, that's going to be a problem. We're not going to be able to crunch that data. You probably, maybe, it's going to take even longer to upload. You don't want that to compromise your chances of getting the thing in on time. Please, please. All right. Total running time. Okay, so your film's maximum running time must be 4 minutes in duration. Okay. Your minimum running time is 4 minutes in duration, and your maximum run time is 7 minutes in duration. Okay, and that's not including the end credits. End credits can be a maximum of 1 minute. Okay, so your total file size should not be more than 8 minutes. Okay, straight up. Okay, so the official running time begins after the 48-hour slates start, and at the end of the credits when you put the slates again. So the slates are accessible online. We can also give it to you in a Google Drive if necessary, but it's very easily accessible, so don't worry. It's basically a slate that you'll see at the beginning of like almost every 48-hour film. It just says a 48-hour film production, boop, 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 and then it starts. That's what it is. You'll get it. You got to put it at the beginning and the end. You also got to put your team name and your film's title, and also specify your genre, because we need to know those things. Sometimes people don't label their films and they just give us a random video clip, and we literally have to. And we've some of you people we've never met face to face before, and especially like maybe we've met the director, but we don't know the actors in the movie, and then we're just like, Who is that? Who is this guy? Whose film is this? We don't know who you are. So please just help us out there. We don't want to like disqualify you because you didn't label your film properly, or you don't want to miss out on these fantastic awards. You don't want to miss out on like a Huawei P40 or 10 grand in cash because you didn't label your film properly. Please, please, please don't be that. Please don't be like that. Label your films properly. Okay. Credits, logos, opening. Okay, so for the final film presentation, okay, it's got to start 5 seconds of black. Okay, five seconds of black screen. Then a title card that says your team name, the title of your movie, the genre, the city, and the date. Okay. Then after that is the opening slate, that doop, doop, doop thing, and then 2 more seconds of black screen, and then the movie starts. Okay, that's how it goes. And then 4 to 7 minutes later is your credits. We don't encourage opening credits. I know some of you want to be like your Quentin Tarantino's, and you want to have these really elaborate opening credits, and they're cool. I like opening credits too, but it counts to your official runtime. So I don't think that you should do it. Time is of the essence here, and if you're gonna have 2 minutes of opening credits, it's gonna eat away from the time that it takes to actually make the movie. So we're not saying don't do it, but if I were you, I think there's other ways to spend your precious time. Um, you know, and also remember at the end of the movie, you've got to state a 48-hour film project on the title, and it just has to. It can be in lowercase. You just got to say this is a 48-hour film project, so that people who are watching know. If you put it on YouTube, you send it to another film festival. If maybe you really love what you've done and you want to send it to another film festival like Schnitt or Duff or any of these other ones, people need to know that it's a 48-hour film project, because I think that also just makes it more special if they're like, oh my gosh, this film is phenomenal and it was made in 48 hours. Like specifically, like I'm just going to give a shout out to my friend Ashlyn. She did from East Coast Creatives last year. She actually won Best Director. She made the film Red Collar. I was stunned that movie was made in 48 hours. And the thing that made me most frustrated and jealous is that I was like, wow, guys, how long did it take you to like put that movie together? And they were like, oh yeah, actually we were done like Sunday morning. Like, we got ours in like way ahead of schedule. I was like, you guys, it wasn't even difficult. You just made it so good. So, Ash, why are you such an overachiever? Well done. I hope that you're having a great day. Very informative workshop. My hero choice newcomer. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm happy to be here. Happy to help. Next. Okay, credits, logos, closing. Okay, the credits must be a maximum of 60 seconds long. Okay, I know this is all very technical and it's very tedious, but please, we need you to adhere to the rules. The rules are the rules. Oh, Travell, good job there. Denny Villeneuve, Roger Deakins. Nice, yeah, I'm glad. A man of culture, but obviously if you knew Roger Deakins before, you know who Denny Villeneuve is at this point. So anyway, end credits must be a maximum of 60 seconds long, and they must include the words, this film was made for the 48-hour film project 2021, and then it's got to have the website at the bottom, okay? That's just the rules, okay? Marketing is marketing, and we've got to know where this film came from, okay? Make sure that you put your slates before and after, and each film should have a title card that says this film was made for the 48-hour film project. Just same as I said above, yeah. Okay, permits and paperwork. Woo! Now this is where the fun begins. Okay, so all production documents must be submitted before midnight on Sunday. Okay, if you don't get them all in on time, then you're not eligible. Unfortunately, that's just the rules. You've got to do the paperwork. Okay. Okay. Now don't freak out. Here are the documents. Okay. Team leaders agreement, wrap up form, the team roster certification statement, waivers and release forms, music release forms, material release forms, location release forms, and the FPB certification. That's your age restriction document. That sounds intimidating. That sounds like a lot of paperwork. Trust me, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Trust me, it's not. It's not a lot of paperwork. Okay, believe me. Okay, it's very straightforward. Most of these are just PDFs that are 2 pages long with like 2 paragraphs of writing that you would just have to read and then sign to say I accept and understand what's there. and you just got to declare, oh, okay, this is the location I shot at. This is the address, 45 Bleecker Street. That's where we shot, and then you get a signed thing from the person who owns that location. Same with the music. It's like, oh, I used a song called Rocket Man by my friend Elton John. Elton John signed it. If you know Elton John, give me his number. I'm a big fan. It's not difficult. Trust me, the paperwork's not difficult, okay? But you've got to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to be eligible, okay? The only thing that you got to know urgently is that the team leaders agreement, which is it's like a simple document that just acknowledges that that the team leader acknowledges they're participating in the festival. It's basically like your final document to say, cool, we're in. That's gonna be handed in on Friday before kickoff, so that we know that you're in it to win it. You are here to participate in the competition. It's all pretty simple. Don't stress about it, I promise. All the documents are on 48hourfilm.com/documents, okay? Literally, it's all there. Every single document is there. If you can't find them, tell us. We'll email them to you. We'll put on a Google Drive to you. You'll get it. Okay? Even if you're having a panic attack and you're still having a hard time, when you're uploading your movie to Cinema 48, there's a thing you can click there where it says upload all your documents to Cinema 48. You can click there and it'll even give you the blank documents to fill out again in case you can't find any of them. You go, oh, I didn't fill out my team roster. How am I going to find that now? You can literally just click on the Cinema 48 and it'll give you a blank one and you can fill it in right there. It literally the people at 48 Hour, the people upstairs who designed the entire competition, they've made it so easy for you guys. I promise. It's so straightforward. Okay, drop-off night, okay, Sunday 28th at 7:30 p.m., okay? Submissions online, okay? Forms handed in before the official deadline will be eligible. So anything up to 7:30 p.m., okay? Not a minute later, unfortunately. So you got to upload your form to Cinema 48. That's the official 48-hour film project website where you upload your forms online. You got to be prepared for technical difficulties, okay? You're going to be uploading online. Ensure you've got data, steady internet connection, just so that you can, ensure that your phone gets to us in one piece, okay? If you're having trouble, 48-hour staff can be contacted to arrange a physical drop-off. Durban only, unfortunately. That's just how it is. We're not going to go to other towns, or, we don't want you traveling from other towns to, get your phone to us on time. All paperwork and outstanding documents must be submitted before midnight on Sunday to be eligible. So all of those documents that I just spoke about, you got to get them to us by midnight Sunday, and then you'll be fine, okay? Because we understand you're trying to sort out your film and everything, and then you're like, oh, got the film in on time, 7:28 p.m., just made it, and then you're like, oh, I forgot to do the documents. It's fine. You've got another couple hours. You got 4 hours. You got 4 hours to do the documents. I guarantee you the document's not going to take you that long, and then you can go to bed, and you can sleep. Doesn't that sound great? I know you're not tired yet, but you will be. You will be. Please ensure that sound levels are even. Also, on your, when you're balancing, get your sound mixer or whoever's doing the sound. Make sure that the sound levels are even and, manageable, because if they're all over the place, then Mo is going to have to adjust them himself. And he's going to adjust them to the best of his ability. But if it's not in accordance with your creative vision, it might not be the way you want it, and then that's just going to be unfortunate, because Mo's going to do the best he can, but he's got to do the best he can for us. Unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily, he doesn't know what your vision is. And don't get Mo to, mix your sound for you. Mix it properly yourself so that it's the way that you want it. Cool. Submitting documents. You also upload those to Cinema 48, okay? We will make a tutorial for Cinema 48, but that's still coming soon. The main thing to understand is that when you register for Cinema 48, it's the same account that you use to register for actual 48 Hour, okay? So the one that you used when you put in your team name and all of that, you go onto cinema48.com, you put in your same email address, same password, and then the two of them link together so it knows, okay? And then on our side, when we're looking at the dashboard there, when you upload your form, your team name will glow green and it'll say, we got your form. So it's as simple as that, okay? You go onto Cinema 48, you log in with the same email address and the same password. You're in, and you'll see a thing there that says upload your form. and you upload your form, and then it'll say upload your documents, and it'll have a box for each document, all of your documents, and you just click and drag, or you can even just say click and then add it. You can drop all of your documents in there. It's so easy. Okay, that's it. Okay. Yeah, and so while the form is loading, it'll say still in progress, and then when the form is finally fully sent, it'll turn green. Okay. It doesn't matter how long it takes to upload the form. Okay, as long as we get it. Like I said in the previous chapter, my friend Trent handed in his form. He started uploading at 28 past 7, so he was 2 minutes before the deadline, but the form only finished uploading 1 o'clock the next afternoon. He was still in time because he started uploading before the deadline, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes. So don't panic. You can make it. You can totally make it. All right. Next. Okay. Cinema 48. You see that picture in the background? That's basically what the front page of Cinema 48 looks like. Yeah, and as long as you get your form in before the 7:30 deadline, you're in the money. You can submit multiple versions, multiple cuts of your forms. That's totally fine. So okay, you got your first cut done at 7 a.m. You want to do another one at 1 p.m. You just want to keep updating it, because I guarantee you're not going to be happy with it. You're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going until you can get the best possible version possible, right down to the last millisecond. But yeah, as long as you've gotten a version in, if you get your second cut of the film through before the deadline, but you don't get your final cut through, we'll obviously screen your final cut. I mean, we'll obviously screen your second cut, not the final cut, but it's just a way to ensure that you make it through the deadline, so you can upload all of these different cuts. Again, make sure that you have a stable internet connection or data, know where you're going to upload from, know whose laptop you're going to use, be aware of the file transfers and things like that, be aware of export times. All of this is just deadly important. Please don't be in a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, we don't have data, we don't have hard drive space, we don't have a USB big enough to put it onto the computer that's going to upload it. Don't be those people, please. Okay, COVID protocols. Yeah, I think this is self-explanatory at that point, but just be COVID safe, guys. Sanitize, wash your hands, wear masks. Be safe, please. And yeah, that's the end of chapter 2. What are the rules? I think hopefully you know what's going on now. And yeah, let's say let's take like a 5-minute break, another 5-minute break, and then we'll see you guys again at 5 p.m. Yeah, we're gonna drop another link to you, so just be on the lookout for that link. It'll be on the same YouTube channel, but it'll be a new link.